Millions of seniors are fighting high blood sugar, but no one told you that your gut bacteria hold the key. If you've been taking medication, cutting sugar, even walking every day, but your blood sugar still won't behave, you're not alone. I've seen this frustration in hundreds of my older patients over the past 30 years. The real pain isn't just the high numbers, it's the helplessness. You follow the rules, and still here, we need to increase your dose. Again and again. That's when most people start to wonder, is this just how it's going to be for the rest of my life? But here's what most doctors don't explain. New research shows that people with type 2 diabetes have a less diverse gut microbiome. One study in Nature Medicine found their gut had more harmful bacteria and fewer helpful ones, leading to inflammation and insulin resistance. Yes, your gut may be quietly blocking insulin from working properly. Your gut isn't just for digestion. It's deeply connected to your immune system, your brain, and your blood sugar. When the balance inside is broken, it throws off everything, no matter how healthy you try to eat. But here's the hopeful part. Today, I'll share 3 powerful fermented foods that have been shown to improve gut health and by doing so, support better insulin sensitivity. They're simple, natural, easy to add to your meals. And the third one is what I often recommend, most especially for older adults, because of how well it works overnight. If this is your first time here, I'm Dr. James Porter. And if you find this helpful, feel free to subscribe. I share new tips each week to help you take control of your health again. Let's begin with a spicy dish from Korea that does far more than flavor your plate. Kimchi may be one of the most overlooked tools in the fight against insulin resistance. Behind its bold flavor and spicy crunch lies something much deeper, the ability to restore balance inside your gut, which may be the root of your blood sugar problems. Kimchi is a traditional Korean dish made from fermented cabbage, radish, and garlic. What makes it so powerful isn't just the vegetables, it's the fermentation. During this process, natural bacteria called lactobacilli grow in abundance. These are the same friendly microbes that your gut desperately needs to function properly. Most seniors are never told this, but poor gut health silently weakens your insulin response. The wrong bacteria increase inflammation, which blocks your cells from using insulin correctly. It's not a matter of eating less or walking more. When your gut is inflamed, your body resists insulin no matter what else you do. A 2021 study from the journal Frontiers in Nutrition found that people who consumed fermented foods like kimchi daily had significantly improved gut microbiota diversity and lower markers of chronic inflammation. The researchers observed not just better digestion, but also improved glucose metabolism in older adults. Kimchi also provides bioactive compounds like capsaicin from chili and sulfur-rich compounds from garlic. These ingredients have been shown to reduce oxidative stress, which further protects your cells from insulin damage. But more importantly, kimchi helps your body heal overnight. Another clinical trial from 2020, published in the journal Nutrients, showed that diabetic patients who added just 100 grams of kimchi to their daily meals saw a noticeable reduction in fasting blood glucose levels after 8 weeks. That is roughly a half-cup serving, small enough to add to a bowl of rice or soup. This is not magic. It is biology. When you introduce the right bacteria, reduce internal inflammation, and support your gut lining, your body becomes more sensitive to insulin again. The cells begin to respond. Your blood sugar drops more smoothly, without spikes or crashes. One of my patients, a retired bus driver named Samuel, told me that after years of using insulin injections, he finally began to see his morning sugar numbers improve within 3 weeks of adding fermented vegetables to dinner. He still takes his medication, but now he feels like his body is working with him, not against him. Kimchi is not a cure, but it can be a turning point. If you're new to it, start slowly. Just a spoonful or 2 with lunch or dinner is enough. Look for unpasteurized versions from the refrigerated section, as these contain live bacteria. If it tastes too strong, you can mix it with warm brown rice or a few slices of avocado to soften the flavor. Consistency matters more than quantity. It is better to eat a small amount daily than a large amount once a week. And remember, the gut doesn't heal overnight, but it does heal meal by meal, choice by choice. In the next part, I'll introduce a fermented food that may be sitting quietly in your local grocery store fridge, and yet few people realize how deeply it supports insulin sensitivity in seniors. You might know it as a German dish, but your gut knows it as a friend. When most people hear the word sauerkraut, they think of a sour side dish. But beneath that tangy flavor is a deeply powerful ally in your journey to better blood sugar and metabolic health. Sauerkraut is made from shredded cabbage that has been fermented using naturally occurring lactic acid bacteria. This simple process, which requires only salt and thyme, transforms ordinary cabbage into a living food, one that actively supports your digestive system and helps regulate insulin response. For seniors struggling with insulin resistance, sauerkraut offers something many medications cannot: the ability to quietly repair the root cause from the inside out. One of the key mechanisms is its ability to increase microbial diversity. Your gut houses trillions of bacteria, and the balance between helpful and harmful strains plays a major role in how well your body manages blood sugar. A disrupted gut, often caused by age, processed foods, or long-term medication use, can trigger chronic inflammation, which directly weakens your insulin sensitivity. A 2018 study in the journal Cell, Host and Microbe found that individuals who regularly consumed fermented vegetables, including sauerkraut, showed reduced levels of inflammatory markers and improved glycemic control. The results suggested that live bacterial cultures from fermented foods helped restore balance to the gut ecosystem and improve the way the body processed glucose. Cabbage itself is also rich in glucosinolates, sulfur-containing compounds that support liver detoxification and reduce oxidative stress. When cabbage is fermented, these compounds become more bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use them more effectively. This matters because oxidative stress damages the same cells that respond to insulin. By protecting those cells, sauerkraut helps preserve your body's natural insulin signaling. Sauerkraut also contains dietary fiber in a form that your gut bacteria love to feed on. This process produces short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which nourish the gut lining, reduce inflammation, and improve insulin action at the cellular level. In other words, sauerkraut does not just sit in your stomach. It activates a chain reaction feeding good bacteria, reducing internal stress, and helping your body handle glucose more gracefully. Many people ask me how much they should eat. For therapeutic benefit, even just 2 to 3 tablespoons per day can be enough. The key is consistency. Add it to a salad, a sandwich, or a simple dinner plate. The flavor is sharp, so a small amount goes a long way. Make sure to choose sauerkraut that is raw and refrigerated. Shelf-stable jars are usually pasteurized and no longer contain live cultures. This is a living food. It gently supports your biology without overwhelming your system. If fermented foods are still unfamiliar, that is perfectly fine. You are never too old to try something new. Healing does not always come from a pill. Sometimes it begins with a fork. Up next, we explore a traditional Japanese food that is not just fermented, but warm, calming, and especially helpful at night when your body naturally begins to repair. Unlike the bold flavor of kimchi or the sharpness of sauerkraut, miso brings a different kind of power to the table, one that is warm, calming, and deeply healing. For seniors living with insulin resistance, this ancient Japanese staple offers quiet but meaningful support during the hours your body does most of its repair, at night. Miso is a fermented paste made from soybeans, salt, and a mold culture known as koji. It has been used for centuries in Japan, not only as a food, but as a daily ritual of wellness. Most people recognize it from miso soup, that light savory broth often served before meals. But few realize that miso is also one of the most gut-supportive, blood sugar-friendly fermented foods available. What makes miso unique is its combination of fermented soy with live enzymes. During fermentation, beneficial bacteria break down soy proteins into smaller peptides, which are easier for the body to absorb and may help reduce inflammation, a key factor in insulin resistance. A 2020 study published in the journal Nutrients found that regular consumption of miso soup was associated with lower markers of metabolic dysfunction, including fasting, blood glucose, and triglyceride levels. The study focused on older adults in Japan and concluded that miso intake, even in small amounts, contributed to improved insulin sensitivity and overall metabolic health. In simpler terms, miso helps your gut, reduces internal stress, and allows your body to respond to insulin more effectively. But beyond the science, there is something very practical, even comforting about miso for older adults. Unlike raw fermented foods, miso is served warm. That makes it especially helpful before bed, when the body is preparing to rest and repair. A warm cup of miso soup can gently activate digestion, feed your gut microbes, and provide amino acids that support your cells overnight. I recall one patient, a 6-7-year-old retired teacher named Mary Ann, who struggled for years with nighttime sugar spikes. Even after dinner, her glucose would rise during sleep. After adding a small cup of homemade miso broth in the evening, she noticed her morning readings were finally back under control. For the first time in years, she felt rested, not drained. Her case is not unique. The warmth of miso, combined with its bacterial richness, makes it an ideal food for seniors who want a gentler way to support their gut and insulin levels. Miso is also rich in isoflavones, plant compounds that may help regulate blood sugar and reduce inflammation. These compounds, found naturally in fermented soy, become more bioavailable after fermentation, meaning your body can actually use them. When buying miso, choose refrigerated, unpasteurized versions. Light miso is milder and often lower in salt, a better choice for seniors. To prepare, stir a teaspoon into a cup of warm water. You can add tofu or green onion, or enjoy it plain. It is gentle, simple, and fits into most routines without stress. Used a few evenings per week, it can calm nighttime sugar spikes and quietly rebuild gut health. Up next, we'll bring everything together into a clear, realistic weekly plan you can follow with ease starting tonight. By now, you've learned how fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and miso can quietly restore balance inside your gut and help your body respond better to insulin. But information alone is not enough. What truly matters is what you do next and how simple you can make it. Here is a gentle plan you can follow over the next 7 days to begin building momentum. Nothing drastic, just steady, thoughtful steps that help your body move in the right direction. Start with breakfast as usual. There is no need to overhaul everything at once. Focus instead on lunch and dinner, where adding small amounts of fermented foods can make a meaningful difference. On the first day, try 1 spoonful of kimchi with your lunch. If the spice feels too strong, mix it with warm rice or steamed vegetables. Later that evening, enjoy a small bowl of miso broth before bed. It takes just 2 minutes to prepare and can help calm your digestion before sleep. On day 2, add a few bites of sauerkraut to your dinner plate. It goes well with roasted vegetables, baked fish, or even a sandwich. Keep the portions small. The goal is consistency, not volume. From there, rotate between the 3. One day you might have kimchi at lunch and miso in the evening. The next, sauerkraut at dinner and nothing else. By the end of the week, your gut will have received steady doses of good bacteria, supportive compounds, and a little kindness, which goes a long way. If you forget a day, do not worry. Healing does not require perfection. It requires patience. You may begin to notice small shifts, fewer sugar spikes after meals, less bloating, more regular digestion, and perhaps, over time, a greater sense of control. This plan is not meant to replace your treatment. It is meant to support your body quietly, from the inside out. You are not adding another chore to your day. You are offering your body a little help, 1 spoonful at a time. And the best part is, this is just the beginning. In the final section, I will leave you with a message of encouragement, because no matter where you are on this journey, it is never too late to begin again. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you truly. That tells me you care about your health, your future, and maybe even the people who depend on you. I know this journey with blood sugar and insulin resistance can feel like a long road. Some days it feels like you're doing everything right and still not getting better. But that does not mean you have failed. It just means your body needs a different kind of support. You have now learned something most people never hear from their doctors. That your gut, that quiet, often forgotten system, holds surprising power over your blood sugar. And that fermented foods, as simple as they seem, can help rebuild what years of stress, medication, and aging may have taken away. The truth is, you do not need a perfect diet or a brand new lifestyle. You need one small shift, A spoonful here. A warm broth there. That is how real change begins. You are not too old. You are not too late. Your body is still listening, still capable of healing, one bite at a time. And if this video gave you something helpful, even just one idea to try tonight, I hope you will take a moment to support this channel. Please like, share, or subscribe so more seniors like you can discover these tools. And if you feel moved, I invite you to leave a comment below. Your story might just inspire someone else to begin their own. You are not alone. I'm Dr. James Porter, and I'll be right here with you every step of the way.